Ready? Ready? Okay, thank you. I would like to call the town commission meeting to order on June 13th at 7 PM or a few minutes late. And stand for the pledge and the invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States under God. And Sal? Ready?
Yes. Father God, thank you once again for entrusting us with your town. I ask that you give us your wisdom and discernment, and we make the decisions tonight that's the best for our town citizens. And may we honor you in all we say this evening. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, Sal. Okay. Now. Okay, roll call. Commissioner McMullen. Commissioner Ramos.
Present.
Commissioner Pollan.
Here.
Mayor Satterfield.
Present.
Mayor Stirk. Here, they're all here. Okay, the first thing I have to say, I'm so glad that all of Women's Growth Society is here. You have the gym coming out. And we appreciate all the help you've given us with the pollinator constellation and following through on whatever else we need to do. I would also tell you that Andy Stewart is our new town manager. He's been here, I would say, a week and a half, 2 weeks, close. And I would say I am thus far very pleased with the choice that we've made.
Thank you.
And he's very open to whatever I have to say, which hopefully he will get over soon. But I'm trying to introduce him to people and help him understand the lay of the land. So he doesn't have to say anything tonight. He is not obligated. So let's see. Wow, we're going to do Pollinator Week, which is why the Bloom and Grow Society is here. So I'm going to read the proclamation. And it's really pretty. Bloom and Grow put it together for us.
Oh, very different.
Whereas the town of Oakland is home to many native wildlife and pollinator species such as birds, bees, and insects, which will keep our environment healthy and diverse. Whereas the town of Oakland recognizes that human health, this is too small for me. Ultimately depends on the well-functioning ecosystems and the biodiverse regions that can better support food production, healthy soil, and air quality. Whereas the town of Oakland is working to build a healthy, sustainable, wildlife-friendly community that brings many benefits of nature to all who come here. Whereas pollinators play an important role in maintaining a healthy ecosystem, and whereas pollinator species are in decline due to habitat loss and use of pesticides, whereas National Pollinator Week is a national initiative that offers opportunities to individuals and communities to restore the natural habitat of local pollinator species. Now, therefore, I, Kathy Stark, by virtue of the authority invested in me as the mayor of Oakland, do hereby proclaim June as our Pollinator Week. There are two things. One is if somebody could make sure I'm not lying here. Winter Garden is doing the same thing, so we are joining forces together. Correct? Yeah. And we need to get a picture. One of them, yes. I don't know. Tell me where. That's yours.
Maybe I don't know. That way you might take the file over and. Very good. Yeah.
Lock the door.
Yeah, actually retired. Want to get a picture? Hey, Stephanie.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
You pause the meeting just for a picture?
Looks like it's just me up here.
The one that shoots in for everybody.
Your wife is so nice.
And she.
She is. Yes. Yes. Oh, stop. She's very nice. Yes, yes.
Has, you know, pollinated yard or not, like.
Oh, that's.
Oh, is yours? I, Yeah.
Did it last week. I know, I saw that in the past. So Elise, I'm sure. And you're on the right track. With all, like the tree city. And the school has to follow and make the garden. Probably, but I want to do my. I'm not garden. And it's right, yeah. You get a lot of data. I need it.
They're all. Bye, ladies. Take care.
I only.
Oh. Oh, good. Yeah. It's good.
Yes.
Take care. See you later.
This will work just fine. Okay, proclamation June 13th. Is that in here?
June 19th, yeah, for Juneteenth,
Sorry.
right there.
We have one more proclamation, which is very important. Signing it now. Whereas on January 1st, 1863, President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation, setting in motion the end of slavery in. Whereas the Civil War ended with surrender of General Lee at Appomattox on April 9th, 1865. Whereas this news reached Texas when the Union General Gordon Granger arrived in Galveston Bay with Union troops. It was on June 19th, 1865, that he announced the people of Texas are informed in accordance with proclamation that the executive of the United States, all slaves are free. And whereas the celebration of the end of slavery, which has become known as Juneteenth, the oldest known public celebration of the end of slavery. Whereas Juneteenth commemorates African-American freedom and celebrates the successes gained through education and greater opportunity. And whereas on a larger scale, celebration of Juneteenth reminds us each that precious promises of freedom, equality, and opportunity are at the core of the American dream. Now, therefore, I, Kathy Stark, by virtue of my authority vested in me as the town of Oakland mayor of in Florida, and on behalf of the entire town commission, I do hereby proclaim June 19th, 2023 as a day to celebrate Juneteenth and urge all citizens to join us in this celebration. Do we want a picture?
I think so.
Y'all good for a picture?
I think we need one, do
Hey.
we? We didn't do a pride, did we?
No, we didn't, because usually when we do it, we have somebody in the audience who is here. Okay. And I signed it, so there'll be a published copy. All right. This is a good time for us to recognize someone in the audience that has worked with Andy in the past and has come to support him. And I told him he could make comments, but it better be brief.
You better listen, man. Madam Mayor, members of the commission, my name is Paul Green. I'm the executive director currently of the Rich League of Cities, which takes care of 6 counties. We go as far north as Dade City and Separate Hills, and we go as far south as Arcadia. We have about 24 cities in that area. We represent them through the Rich League. But I'm also the former, just recently retired city manager of the city of Auburndale in Polk County. And that is where I had the pleasure and the opportunity of getting to work with Andy Stewart. Wanted to be here this evening on his first meeting to congratulate you on your support of the council management form of government, but also to congratulate Andy and to let him know how I remain so very proud of him. I've had, in my 30 years as city manager in Auburndale, I had 7 assistants. And it wasn't because I couldn't work with assistants. It's because I would let them know as they came in the door. I wanted them for about 4 or 5 years. I expected them to get their master's degree in public administration. And then I wanted assistants that were looking to become city managers themselves. Andy came in the door working with Orange County Fire Rescue and their budgeting department, was working on his master's degree in public administration. And he was also from Auburndale and a graduate from Auburndale High School. And so needless to say, I was very proud that night to stand before my commission and to suggest to them, let me tell you who I've hired as my assistant. He had all these bells and whistles, but he was also from Auburndale High School and from the Auburndale community. Matter of fact, we were both Presbyterians at the Presbyterian Church in Auburndale. So just to be with you, to congratulate Andy, and when he left to go to the town of Dundee, we knew that was the start of a good career for him. And I just think that he's found we welcome him back to the Sunshine State. He was also highly engaged in the Florida City County Management Association, which I was also a former president. And Andy was very active on the board of directors. And we do hope that the opportunity comes for you to represent Oakland with the FCCMA, also up there with the Florida League of Cities. I hope I made my time.
You did.
Be here tonight.
Really appreciate you coming to support Andy. That tells us a lot about him. And thus far, unless he really messes up, we're pretty happy with it.
When I got the job in April of 1991, the city management conference was in Pensacola. It was in May, and I really felt I could not attend that conference. It was too soon for me to get the job in April to go to this conference in May. I wanted to hit the ground running, learn the budget, do all those things. Andy comes to Oakland the week of the Florida City County Management Association.
Oh,
Well, needless to say, the city manager of Lakeland, the city manager of Lake Alfred, the city manager of Leesburg, the city manager of Auburndale that took my place, and myself all had a great opportunity in Winter Garden to catch up halfway.
I heard that.
Andy, we had a wonderful time. Andy's got a great support staff, and anytime that we can help, we always want to. So,
Yeah, and we are asking him to get, we'll talk about City Manager Association, but we are asking him to get deeply involved in the Florida League of Cities.
yes, yeah,
And their conference is in August.
yes, yeah,
And we will all be there.
yeah. And Casey Cook said to say hello. Okay, who's their legislative aide with the Florida League of Cities. So thank you so very much.
And for the record, whatever, 3 minutes, but nobody's.
We know who to call first when he does mess up. You're here.
Don't speak down. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Us. I couldn't have asked for any better, even if I didn't pay him.
You paid a lot of cash for that or?
No, I didn't know he was coming.
You didn't know it was coming?
No.
Wow.
That's so nice.
Yeah, that is.
That's really,
We also sent him something though.
Yeah, he did.
On the job.
what he sent him.
Grateful. Or just a bouquet or a.
Oh,
Was it?
No, the
Yeah, I didn't,
thing.
awesome.
I was so busy, I didn't get to eat any.
Still in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Um,
All right.
so anyway, anybody else that wishes to speak on an item that is not already on the agenda? Okay. We have the consent agenda. Does anybody have any questions or comments on the consent agenda? Otherwise, I need a motion.
I'll make that motion to accept the consent agenda. I'll second it.
Okay, moved and seconded. Any comments from the audience? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we have an ordinance 223-07.
Okay, so this is ordinance 2023-07, second public hearing for minor lot split LDC amendment and ordinance of the town of Florida, amending articles 2, section 2.5 subdivision regulations to allow aggregated, platted, or vested lots of record to be split back to its original platted lot or vested lot of record, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, and providing an effective date. Ms. Sarah's here if you have any questions.
Oh, there you are. I think we've been over this a few times, right, Sarah? Okay. Does anybody have any questions for Sarah? We have-
I'll make the motion and approve ordinance 2023-07.
I'll second it.
Okay, it's been seconded. Anybody from the audience have a question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So now we are on to other policy matters, Oakland Avenue Charter School update.
I will take that. You'll see us on the agenda a couple times a year now because
Yeah.
that is going to be lodged. This meeting for the school. Obviously, when we do that in merit commission reports, that doesn't count. It has to be an agenda item that we talk about. So there's always something to talk about in the school. We just make it efficient. Given that, we just found out we had talked at that last governance meeting that we were going to take SAC and delete it out and make the PAC, Principal Advisory Committee. For the second, we do need a charter amendment for that, so we'll get working on that charter amendment.
But that's not the town charter,
Not the town, the school charter.
School charter.
School charter,
because the town charter requires a referendum.
Yes.
right.
Okay,
And the town charter, I think also has, says we have to have, that's where we gotta have our governance meetings also in there.
yes,
So that's why we want to put it on. the
yeah, it's very difficult.
So, the school one should not be difficult at all. I think we've done that before with some things. I'm old and I don't remember how we did that, but we'll figure that out. Just a few things, since we're all here now, there's a lot going on at the school. The air conditioning system, the HVAC system is in full force of being worked on and everything's going surprisingly well at this. Their employees have a way in. Our kids and our staff are working out of the portables that do have electric, so that they can have air conditioning, so nobody is out of, out of the air seat.
Right,
And it's all working well. We also have additional fencing that is going up, that is going to go in front of the cafeteria. The hard fencing, what do they call that, hard structure.
Hardscape.
Hardening of the schools. Apparently phase two, our cafeteria has doors that face out. And they have to be hard locked too. So there's going to be this summer, they said between June and July, it should be done. A fence is put around that. Also along that is our 20-year-old playground is in the process. It will be redone this summer. The IT, we're still working on IT and I'll update as we get to that. We do need an IT person at the school. It kind of complements, what's the name of that? iVenture. iVenture will take the really hard to do stuff, but we need someone at the school because there's so many computers and so many things there.
you know what you do when your computer doesn't work?
I throw it, but
No, turn it off, turn it off.
yeah. Say, throw it, same thing.
No, turn it off, turn it off.
So we're kind of still in conversation on what to go with that there. So the summer hours of the employees, so they are 4 days at 10-hour days. So Fridays, there isn't anyone in school.
So is that why they need the Oakland Presbyterian Church on Friday?
That why what now?
Oakland Presbyterian, they asked for space on
On
Friday.
Friday, yeah, because there's nobody else there. So.
Okay.
And that's it. It's the speed control lights need to be replaced.
They need to be turned off.
Are they still blinking?
Yes,
Good. Gonna do that.
I actually drove through there this morning and they were blinking.
Oh, that's where you're going, man.
I was doing,
We've got it locked.
hey, yeah, I only want to get pulled over if I really do something wrong in Oakland, and I try not to do that.
I will get with Carlos in the morning
Yeah.
and figure out how to get them turned off, but they are both need to be replaced. That doesn't have to be as school starts. So sometime during the year, they're just on their last line and then probably go out. That is everything we got going on. Do I have any questions?
Any questions? No? Okay,
I am done.
thank you. FLC 97 Annual Vote Conference Voting Delegate Appointment. So I am assuming this is for the Florida League of Cities.
Right, this is our annual, so they send a memo asking for us to appoint a delegate to vote at the conference. So last year, I believe it was Commissioner McMullen. So we just need to appoint someone again this year.
So Joseph, how do you feel about that?
No, we want somebody to go, somebody else to do.
We're all gonna go.
So
We made a commitment.
The last time you and I went, you were the delegate.
Just as long as you tell me when I have to be.
Okay, yeah, that's no problem. Yeah,
But I told them that the trade show was really awesome.
it's not in Hollywood this year. It's up here.
Yeah, but you know that I bring stuff home to my husband. So
Trinkets.
trinkets, that's right, trinkets. So what do you want? You want me to do it or you want us both to do it?
Oh, I don't know. No, only one person. No.
It's only one? Just thought, oh,
Yes,
okay, as long as you make sure I'm there when I need to be there.
I will.
Okay,
I think it's Friday, or Saturday.
and you need to go too.
Go to the day.
All right,
The new hotel this year.
what, oh, it's in Hilton, right?
Yeah, you guys, if you're the only ones that registered, you've registered yourself?
No, I haven't.
You registered yourself?
No, I need to be registered.
Okay, let me know. I already registered Commissioner Ramos. You need registered? Are you gonna go? You need registered?
Apparently so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had Hollywood last year? It goes back. and-
It's one every other year. I love Hollywood.
Hollywood last time it was really, really nice.
I was on the 34th floor on the ocean. I loved it. Nobody else with me would come out onto the balcony.
Yes.
That's me.
Okay, do we need to?
Do we need to vote on that?
No, it can just be consensus.
Okay, consensus.
Yep.
All right, so this is the big topic of the night. Rick, I looked at all the things you submitted, and I know you have someone here who would like to speak from the Audubon Society. And then we can talk about how we can have a how we're both compromise means neither side is happy, but we both leave, feeling that we've done a good job. So, anyway, how do you want to handle this? Do you want her to come up? Deborah, thank you.
Well, I'll just add something. I know we focus on migratory birds heavily. That's been our conversation, but if you look at the 3 articles I have in there, it's a lot more than just migratory birds. It's all kinds of nightlife. It's birds that hunt at night. It's native songbirds, hummingbirds, butterflies, peahens, bats, owls, mice, insects, and fireflies, just to take a few that are affected with artificial lighting. And I think the town of Oakland, we've been great stewards of the environment to this point, and I think to continue being a good steward, especially with our location, with the lakes and all the environment and nightlife we have around here. I think it's a good idea to leave the lights off.
Okay, that's your recommendation, and I appreciate the fact that you gathered information, which I had asked for last time we talked about this, and we have left the lights off until we make an agreement. I have talked to a couple of people. One is a biologist who says that, and you can tell me if this is true or not, that birds have way better eyesight than we do. Yeah, come on. You don't have to stand at the podium. You can just talk.
Yes, thank you for bringing this up. But they navigate by the stars and the moon, a still object. And it's amazing, but that's how they go way far north.
I know.
And not way far south. It's going on all the time. They migrate at night, the little bird, right? So, yeah, the eyesight thing, I guess it's neither here nor there if they're using.
Well, I just don't want them bumping into a water tower.
Okay. Yeah, but there's, as the articles he gathered show, they hit buildings with lights. There's a whole thing with the 9/11 building in New York that they turn the lights off and at certain times just for the birds. And it's just, I mean, birds are under such stress already with loss of habitat. That and what you do here in the city by this town by keeping the trees, any native plantings, I mean, this helped. Save habitat. But the thing about the lights, you've already taken an important step with the dark sky ordinance.
Yes.
Really special. That's very few towns have done that. And I think, and then you invited me to help you with a proclamation for World Migratory Bird Day. And as I told you then, you're the pioneers on this, and it really should be a statewide program of bird-friendly cities like they do in Wisconsin. Oh, 62 cities are bird-friendly, and they have a whole nonprofit with a staff and everything monitoring this and working on this, and we're not prepared to do that yet. But I proposed it to Audubon, Florida. that they could manage it and it would be very cool, bird-friendly city program. So you guys are already pioneers. And, you know, I understand the marketing that you want your city, your town up in lights. But the marketing of being environmentally friendly, I think is more powerful and unique.
Well, we are, trying to market ourselves, and we're just at the beginning stages of an eco-friendly town. So when, I think it was short-sighted of us, but I don't think anybody really thought about it. When they turned those lights on, it looked like a football stadium. So I am all for following dark sky. And I am all for making sure that we lower the lights, turn them off during migratory, your migratory season.
Yeah.
But I think we have to really be pragmatic about the fact that we're going to have birds, this is an iconic piece of our town. And I would like to light it when we can and follow dark sky. So, there are commissioners here with varying opinions, but that's where I land at is it becomes difficult when you're trying to help the environment, but you're not able to take into consideration other things. I don't think we're there yet.
So the migratory periods are April, Florida, even though that's migratory bird day is May, that's for farther north, April and September, October.
Yeah. And so we could all, I hope, get to a place where we light it under dark sky. I don't really have an opinion about when the lights go off at all. So if we need to turn them off at 11 or whatever you guys decide, if we could just light them during the times that people are driving home, we'll see the water tower, so on and so forth. And turn them off during the migratory patterns, as long as you keep us honest. So y'all talk.
Where do you go first? What do you think about that?
Well, again, you're focusing on just migratory birds and there is more the peak migratory bird season is when Beth just mentioned. But today, I just went to birds.cast, I think was the name of the website. And actually there's still migratory birds even now, and they give you the peak time and how many birds. And at 8:50 p.m. last night, there's 11,900 birds, approximately 11,900 birds that crossed Orange County last night. So, and I know Jack, I don't know where he came up with this 11 o'clock thing that birds migrate after 11 p.m.
I don't know where he came up with it either.
Yeah, so I just don't, I think you need to,
I know you feel strongly about this, but we've got to find a middle ground. This is one of our most iconic structures in Oakland. And it has the new logo on it. And I want to find, personally, can we start somewhere that is not yes or no?
well, you can see it all during daylight hours. So, and at night, if you're driving through the town of Oakland, you got all these trees, you can't even see it.
Well, apparently people saw it when we lit it up. And
Well-
I'm not looking for you to tell me absolutely you can't light it. I'm asking you if you can come to the table with some medium ground. That's what I'm asking. So I didn't get an answer to that question.
No, I'm sorry, I gotta just lean.
I understand, but I was just asking. So if we come to the table and we say we're willing to work with you on this, what are the things that we can work together on? So we start somewhere. And then if we learn things, we adjust. I think we're making I think we're offering great solutions to start. This is not where I want to be. I do want dark sky, no question. But I do want that tower lit. When we can. And I want to be cognizant of the environment. That is not a yes or no question.
I don't see how we can light it up and be compliant with dark sky at all.
Why? We're willing to lower the lights to dark sky.
Yeah, but these lights are pointing up. You got a white tower, even pointing up the reflection of the white tower and it's still going up in the air. It's not in compliant.
Okay, so we need to figure out how we get compliant with dark sky.
Well,
Can I ask a question? If we were able to be in compliance with a method or widget that we can make so it can face down and not face up with the lighting. And also find out, again, 8:57 is the peak time or 11. Let me ask the question a different way.
Yeah.
Do birds migrate at 6 p.m.? They migrate, yes or no, at 7? Say they start migrating then we can hover below that hour. If you say they start migrating at 8, 9, 10, then we'll keep the lights up.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
How it works is they're coming from Central America or South America. They're gonna go across the Gulf. So they take off at sunset from there and they got a long way to go.
By the time they get to us.
Yes.
Good.
So,
Now we're talking hours.
but, and then if the winds are with them, sometimes they just keep on going and so it's pretty variable. I'm not positive that you can say they don't migrate at 6 or 7. But
And I'm not saying that they all migrate at 6 or 7, like you just determined analysis of Gulf flying, and they might not make it here till 10 o'clock at night, but with a good gust of wind behind them, they might make it here at 7. We gotta work that. The beginning part of it, can we live with it till 7, especially during the fall hours when it gets dark at 5:30, right? So if we can compromise to the 7 o'clock type of, and they have the rest of the night to, because this is very important to us,
for marketing,
right?
I understand.
Well, not just marketing, just because of the historical piece that we want to showcase to the rest of West Orange, right? And if that's one of the eyesores that stops, one of the things that stops birds from migrating. We have lights on these apartments on Oakland Avenue on the side of the wall, the same height of our tower. So we'd have to eliminate every single light, not just here, right?
Sure.
Correct?
Yes.
Is that true? That the lights are the same size as that apartment building as that tower?
It's a 4-story apartment complex, and this high tower is the water
How
tower.
many stories?
yeah, but the lights of the apartments, they're pointing down.
We established the fact that if we can find out a widget, and we have to get an engineer to manufacture something that lights, I agree 100%. Whether it's 7 o'clock or 11 o'clock, facing up is the wrong way. We all agree with that.
Yep.
But let's find a way to face them down. That's one compromise.
Face them down and towards the logo.
To get to dark sky. So
You could do that, I think. How do you feel about that, Deborah? If the lights are up on the, and facing down and on a Lego,
I think that's definitely,
That makes it-
definitely.
that makes it
Makes it
easier.
fairly easy, because then really the idea is we get someone to work on manufacturing something like that. We keep them off till we get that.
Yeah.
And then we test them and see what that does.
Well, here's my other 2 thoughts, and clearly Rick and I have,
If you can move over here, I'm sorry.
yeah, that
I can see it.
sun's going.
Yeah. What time is it?
Clearly I have strong thoughts about this. And you're telling us that we're leading the way with dark sky lighting. We are, you know, we have the Oakland Nature Preserve, we are bird sanctuary. We just passed pollinators. So we're putting our money where our mouth is. But you cannot, and this is where I have trouble. Because never mind, can't say that. This is where I have trouble. When you take a stand that is all or nothing, it doesn't get you where you need to go. You know, maybe 5 years from now, we'll say, shut them off. I don't know. But I can't just do all or nothing. I really want the tower lit in a way that we're being responsible for the birds at the same time. That's a compromise.
And that might not be the case it can have.
Well, we find out, and I'm very interested. My husband's whole family, my daughter, they all live in Wisconsin. So I'm very interested in what Wisconsin is doing. I'll send you one.
Well,
And they live in Fond du Lac.
it sounds not simple, but it sounds like a way to go at this point. And there's two things I say. It's one, again, keep them off so we can get something manufactured that we can test and see and see if that works. Number two, the same way that Rick did all his homework, which by the way, you did a lot of homework.
We appreciate that.
Very, very good. How much homework has been done on the other side of it by saying, how much of an iconic view does that thing get? I don't really.
I've never looked at it that way. I have talked to people.
We have to look at it that way too, because for people to say the lighted tower at night is iconic, how many people are really looking at that light? That's the other part.
That's hard to measure.
Things it's hard to measure both ways.
Right.
We got to.
I'll
And
tell you what they weren't measuring for the last, how long?
yeah,
9 years.
Well, I was gonna say that
The measuring.
kind of the thing that tells you when Mike said 9 years, I like my mouth just kind of dropped. So.
yeah, me too.
And that's kind of my point is how, I've not had one person, I'm playing devil advocate on both sides now.
Yeah.
I've not had one person say in 9 years, hey, how come the lights ain't?
No, I know.
Affect our growth and
Sure did say, why are the lights on when we lit the place up like a baseball
Well,
stadium?
that's because we lit it up like.
That was stupid.
You know, so that's my point is it as like, I know your thoughts to it. It's very clear.
I've made my point.
Yeah.
Sal made my points.
And I'm all in for, let's try to find some lights that will satisfy.
Find a compromise.
But I still do question on how many people really look up at that thing at nighttime. I really do. If no one in 9 years has said anything, it just can't be that important. That's kind of my-
About that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't answer
Yeah,
that
so-
question. It's a marketing
Yeah.
question. And marketing is hard to measure.
Yeah. Well, the whole scenario is hard to measure on both sides.
Right, because nobody can tell me unequivocally, and I have asked a lot of people that this is absolutely a no-go, dangerous to birds. No one can tell me that. I've asked a lot of people. So I always try to find the compromise in this. We're not saying we're going to turn the lights on now. We will do some investigative work to make sure it's dark sky compliant, and those are outrigger lights, so they face up. So do we need to face them down? Do we need to turn them off during migratory season? And do we, in the other seasons, only keep them on for a short period of time? I think that's a compromise.
For the first step, I promise I have the lights that can do that.
lights on the top pointing down on the logo. To me, that would be, and Deborah, I hope you agree with it. That would be the same thing as a street light or parking lot light that is dark sky compliant with no light showing up, with it all going down.
I think that might be the
Be the-
end all solution.
Yes,
Again,
that might be the
Story building on Oakland Avenue is dark sky compliance because the lights on the side of that building on those towers point down.
the birds are gonna be still coming in because of that. But right now, they're pointing at the bird.
And, you know, all this discussion of there's an eagle's nest here in Vanderlei Park is false. That eagle nest has been gone for years. They do light on the tower. They do like to sit on the tower, but they are not in Vanderlei Park. I don't even know where they are.
They're, last I heard, they were on a pine tree off the trail towards Oakland Park, and I'm not sure if they're still there or not,
Well, I think they're gone right now.
but, you know, the,
You know, we are nothing but environmentally friendly, but we cannot pull this rubber band out till we find it breaks. We've got to find middle ground.
Again, it's kind of looks like we have.
I think we have.
Yeah, let's try to, find something and then test them out and then see.
Joseph?
Oh, I have no.
I realize I was.
He's caught that. I'm good.
All right. So
I just want to say I'm very proud of you, and if whoever's in charge of marketing, PR.
we're not that sophisticated.
It would be us.
Sentinel article about how you're doing this.
How well we're
Yeah, so
doing towards these.
I have connections there. I can write up bits and stuff. So let me know.
That's a great,
Thank you, Deborah.
that's awesome.
thank you, Deborah. I
Thank you very
appreciate
much.
it.
Much.
Feel free to leave.
You make,
All right,
anybody in the audience have anything to say? Jane, podium, por favor.
State your name and your.
Jane?
Bill number 61 Dimmons. I think to what Mike said, 9 years, that tower hasn't been, I mean, a lot of us has lived there for 20 plus years, like, Mike,
We didn't notice.
and and you've seen that tower lit up. And I think there's a lot of people who's moved in this town over the past 9-10 years that's never seen that tower. This town in size is doubled. So when you said that the tower's lit up, they said that. So that's probably why we're not hearing anybody saying, towers never lit up because they've never seen it.
And there was no way.
I do think the town, for this, for Rick, I know that there is equipment out there and fixtures out there that can kind of go out and off the tower and light down. I think the town ought to think about engaging a, electrical engineer. Just like you do, site plans for dark skies initiatives, there's certain lumens and light intensities on parking lots that you have to study. I think it might be wise to get that engineer in here.
Yes,
Say,
absolutely.
look, we want to keep it down. We don't want it to go up, and they should be able to really help us out.
Yep.
And I think meet a happy middle ground and light it up.
Thank you, Shane.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shane. So Rick, do you want to make a motion or not?
yeah, I'm not sure how we're doing it. I'll make a motion that we look into lighting alternatives for down lighting to shine down on the logo on the water tower. And once we get some options, then we can look at it and make a decision at that.
That sounds good. Andy, you got a big job to do.
Yeah.
Talk to Harper.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, moved and seconded. Anybody else have a comment? All in favor? Aye. And Andy and I are meeting with Joe Allery, who did our logo and our style guide. And we'll ask him what he thinks too. Just from a marketing point of view. So I think this is a good start. And hopefully we'll figure it out. So no comments from the audience. Oh, Nancy, you got to say something. Go ahead.
That wasn't a question, that one. Oh,
You're on my face.
I know.
Nancy Ross, Gully Avenue. I agree with Shane and I also agree with some points about Rick. But I think a few meetings ago, there was discussion about looking into the possibility of those existing fixtures to be repositioned somehow and the bulbs or whatever is inside of them being reduced in in Brilliance to try to tone
Yes.
down?
Yes,
So is that still a
yes.
What we're gonna be doing, yeah.
That's all part of the
That's what we're gonna do is see if we can reposition the outriggers going down instead of up and comply with dark sky lighting. Yes.
good news? I just hate to see it's been, yeah.
Those existing fixtures are 5,000 K, which is not dark sky compliant.
Right.
They need to be 3,000 K. In my understanding, you can't place the bulb, the whole fixture, it's gonna have to be replaced.
We might not even have to use the outriggers. We may find something that mounted to
It's possible.
actual
Tower.
tower right above the logo and not mess around with the rest of it.
I think there's a wide area of learning to figure out what can be, so.
I just hate to see us go to waste after all that money was just spent.
I know, but
It's not gonna be in a hurry to do this. I mean, we've had it off for,
I guess all four corners of your house will, you know,
Thank you.
little bad emblem. That's.
no, I really want to figure this out so we feel okay about it. Everybody feels okay about it. But we got some work to do. Andy's got some work to do with Parker. And this could be really good for you, Andy.
Yes, good first project.
or not.
Figure it out. But Parker, I don't think the people who lit the tower after we repainted it really thought about what does this do? And, you know, immediately, as soon as it was lit, people were like,
I don't think they were lighting it up for the logo. I think they were using it to finish painting and they left the lights there.
a baby? No, those are outrageous.
Way up. It is. In the simplest form, we missed it when we really asked the question.
We really did miss it. And we didn't start off in the right way.
We're on a good track now.
But I would like for us to move forward in some fashion. And then figure out what we can and cannot do. All right,
What do you think, Commissioner McMullen?
I'm good.
He thinks it's time for town manager reports, right?
okay, so
Thank you, Deborah.
yes, thank you, Deborah, very much. We haven't voted yet. We haven't voted yet, right?
I think we did.
No,
No,
No.
we just made a motion. And a second.
Motion and a second, no more comments, all in favor, aye.
aye.
I did, no, we didn't. We didn't. Usually I'm the one who forgets. So town manager report, what do you have to say?
Well, good evening, Madam Mayor, members of the Town Commission. Just have a couple items this evening, just to share with you all. I know there was an article about the golf carts, the new golf cart law that has taken effect for the age of the drivers, and the town is currently working. The police chief is working on creating an ordinance that would be presented to the council in July. So if you get any questions on that, and just for the general public's knowledge. And then we're also going to be starting, go ahead.
Before you move off of that, just so you know, one of the big points there was how golf cart traffic is going to get to the school.
Mhm.
So we just want to talk with Darren to make sure that's kind of part of the picture.
That'll be all, yep, I believe the crossing.
He's got it all tied up.
Okay. So we're working on that, and I believe the town attorney is also looking over that ordinance as well. We're getting into the budget season for the Oakland Charter School, which will be at your next meeting, be going over the budget for the school. And then I know Renee in the Finance Department is working hard on with the department heads on the budget that would take effect July 1st.
And I just want everyone to know,
October.
very many of you out there, but I want everyone to know that like every penny that comes out of that budget, Renee acts like she's got to open her wallet up and pay us personally.
I agree.
I can't even take a coffee receipt into her.
Over the next several months, staff will be working on the budget. Other than that, I would just like to say thank you to the staff, to the residents, to Elise specifically. She's helped me get acquainted. I've met with all the
Done a great job.
commission members now. I've had some lunch and coffees. The mayor's helped me get acquainted with some of the community leaders and members of the various boards. So I appreciate that, Mayor. And I'm looking forward to a good tenure here, and I'm glad to be back doing what I love to do. So thanks for everything up to this point, and I think Oakland's going to be a good fit for me, and I'm excited to be a part of this community. So.
Yep. I took him to State of the County Friday. Boy, was that an education for him.
Oh, boy, right off the bat. Oh, sorry.
We're happy to have you.
Thank you.
Yes, I think it's good to have some Cole County representation here.
Yeah, that was.
Just so you know, Satellite Beach enters the picture. That's right. So Bree's charm.
Today, he made two what we call Larryisms, which is our lobbyist up in Tallahassee. He said, the more you stir the pot, the more it stinks. And he said, some guy called him and cussed him. And the only other person I've ever heard that from is Ginny. He cussed me and I was, whoa.
It did.
Thank you.
Yeah, first thing in the morning. So anyway, I'm very happy to have you.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So.
Like-
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, Sal, do you have anything?
Yeah, again, reiterate what they said. Very happy that you joined us and that you accepted the job and look forward to having you here for many years. And
Yeah.
for, correct.
Plan.
Again, this is not a sprint, it's a marathon here.
Right.
Yep.
So
Well, he's had a real indoctrination this week.
I'm impressed with the following, with Bobby, being here for you. So I'm really happy that,
That's really nice.
That's very.
you made an impact.
Great guy.
And thank you for going to represent our town at the MAC meeting, Metro Plan, while I wasn't there. So it would be nice if for the record, because they've asked me already to have a sit down, a fill-in for whatever they get. And they asked me to choose either a clerk or a town manager or one of the commissioners. So you've been voluntold.
Okay, got it.
Missed a meeting.
I'll be here.
Oh. Rick,
I don't have anything to
nothing else? How's ONP?
doing very good,
Good,
very good.
good. Joseph?
Nothing to report here, but the city of Ocoee, we're really and State Representative Bracy, they're doing a Juneteenth festival on Saturday.
Okay, so Bracy, is that
That's the sister.
sister? Okay,
That's sister.
yes.
He turned out, and he ran for Congress, but that's his sister. His sister's a state rep now. But Bracy, yeah, that's the next,
That whole Bracy family is wonderful.
they are. Yeah. So they're having a Juneteenth over there in the city of Ocoee.
And I think Randolph lives here.
I think he does too, and he's married, and he's a different guy now.
Is he?
You watch him on social media, he's happy.
Oh, good.
Well, yeah, that's all that's going on.
I love his mama.
Yeah.
What day are they gonna have the event?
It's Saturday, 6 to 8. It's in the morning.
This, I forgot to mention one thing. This Saturday, we have our 5K
What you got?
Night, yeah.
at night, which my whole family is gonna be running there.
Is that the one you signed up for?
That takes up the whole three.
Yeah, that'll take up a lot of room.
Jeez.
Just a reminder. 30.
I'm not running. Nobody's chasing me. So, but Andy did sign up for it. I thought that was great.
I'm not running if they do chase me.
Yeah. Done. I'm done. Mikey.
I will thank all of you guys for giving this guy a really big attention tonight.
Yeah. Hey, it's gonna get,
Honeymoon.
it will probably get worse, but enjoy it while you can.
All kidding aside, welcome to the club.
Thank you.
So we appreciate you. That's all I have.
Okay, I only have. Well, we went to the state of the county, which was from a critical eye from event planning perspective, done very well. We met a lot of people and we went with Derek. And so Derek watched Andy while I wandered off, and then I watched Andy when Derek. No, because there are a lot of people there. But it was very well done. It was a showcase of the county's achievements, and Jerry did really well. Really, really well. So I think it was well worth our time. And we're signing up for Florida League. So we will be there, and we're going to count on you, Joseph, to tell us when we need to be.
Events that we all have to be, and I'll make sure everyone knows that we all have to be at certain events.
Yes, we'll do it.
All of us have to be at certain events. You want to come?
Got it. The rest of them do.
I'm with you, Hannah.
Like herding cats, you gotta be there.
Yep, it's like herding cats.
Herd as one man. Yeah.
Town together.
So there's one other thing that it's. He
You thought I said the city. He said the
Who said city?
team. We gotta
He said, I.
The first day.
Town will be there.
Oh, okay.
Kids.
We warned Andy the first day not to ever say that.
Oh, yeah.
So the other thing that is, it's just topical. Lakeside Church, I have learned. Because I'm endeavoring to bring the churches together in Oakland. Does a food distribution one Tuesday a month. And you just drive over there and they give food away until it's gone. And the second is they do barbecues. I think it's the third Saturday of the month. And we have put a request in to use Pollard Park for that. And we'll find out. They say usually 30 to 50 people show up. And I said, well, I just want to make sure that you're not going to run out of food. And they assured us that they would not. And so we're endeavoring to get that off the ground, but you do have separation of church and state. So it's their event. I'm just giving them advice.
Oh, giving advice where to host it?
Yeah, well, I said Pollard Park, which I hope you guys agree with. I think that's the right place for it.
Yes. Yes, it is. We're just doing it for the community?
Yes,
Sounds cool.
yeah. So, the separation of church and state, the church asked me to find out where residents could get food that wasn't 2 miles away. So this is a step in the right direction.
So they probably will need to do a special event permit that.
Yes,
They come here, an exception to the fee.
right. And Stephanie is working with them.
Okay.
So I would talk to her if she needs some guidance.
I'm sure Jessica's doing her planning.
Yeah, Jessica will take care of her.
And that's for the barbecue?
Yeah.
Okay,
No, they were doing the food distribution today.
okay.
Oh, is that, okay.
Yeah, I saw it.
So this is the second Tuesday of the month.
Yep.
Is there a date for the barbecue, Mayor?
We do not have a date. We need to get on their calendar. So when I know more, I will let you know, but I'm hoping that it will be sometime in the fall.
Nice.
Too hot.
Yeah. Even though Pollard Park does have a covered pavilion.
I know I should know this, but I don't know. Do we know if Mount Zion is still doing their food? I know Ms. Postel not there anymore.
No, they're not doing it. And-
Okay,
They're not doing it, and I cannot get the minister to call me back.
or the new guy?
Numerous times I have reached out to him. So I do need to talk to the Cathedral of Praise. What is it called now?
Yeah.
I need to talk to both of them to say, hey, this is happening. So you know, it's right in your backyard.
Yeah.
And we're gonna advertise it.
Yeah, I could tell them. And they get it. Yes.
Could you please tell them to get him to call me?
I told her, I texted him tonight.
Okay, that's great, because I've called him a few times. So that would be awesome. I'm trying to get these guys to all talk to each other.
Like that coalition we had.
Yeah,
They used to do in the coalition of churches. That was pretty good.
that's kind of what I'm driving towards, but it's gonna take time. I mean, Anointed Ground is in. And Senior McBride is in. He brought me roses on Mother's Day. That's sweet. But the rest of them, I'm having a hard time corralling.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just wanted to make sure you guys felt good about it.
On the barbecue conversation, I heard some chatter that. I can't think of the name.
Lonely.
Yeah, well, we was doing food truck.
Yeah, 2 food trucks.
I'd
And
be cool with that.
yeah, and Pico is awesome. They have really good food.
Chicken meat food truck, so I got beef.
Yeah, but I want to see how this farmer's market
Mm-hmm.
goes, because people are really, really excited about that. And we could bring food trucks there too, and entertainment or whatever we thought was right. Joseph, what do you think?
Oh, no, it's good. I was thinking, I know
We went to your happy place.
yeah, I know we owned some land at the time down there. We had a garden at one time.
Yes,
Land.
we still own it, but it's.
Which land?
It's-
Yeah, I passed by.
Yeah, it's complicated. Parker, Andy, you need to make a note to talk to Parker about that.
Yeah.
And let Joseph know, because I think we dedicated the land as a park.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah, and Jenny's son did a Eagle Scout project,
It's the
right?
road, the last road before you leave on, what's the last road you can make a right?
Oh, okay.
If you drove down that road, you'd ride right into the cemetery.
Yeah, right. 40, like maybe 200 yards, yeah. And it used to be a garden.
Well, we do own property next to Vanderlei Park too.
Yeah. That's where he stopped and,
No,
what they did for Wesley up there, that.
yeah, that's Wesley's. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's enough chatter.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Hearts and minds satisfied, let's adjourn. And Andy said he loves watch 100 fan better than UCF. So it's not 8:12 p.m.
You know, you changed this.
Yeah.